Welcome, Max, to the Musicians Mobile Show. Max Dunn, he is 24-year-old. He's studying his doctorate in linguistics from the Chinese University of Hong Kong. He loves doing cross-country trips on his bike through Italy, hiking in the outdoors, and he is one of our star former students of Musicians Mobile. How you doing there, Max?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. It's good to have some contact with Musicians Mobile after all these years.
And tell the folks where you're at right now.
I'm currently in Belgium right now on somewhat of a hiatus. I usually live in Hong Kong, but because of the whole Corona situation, I've had kind of a crazy past couple of months, and I'll be here until who knows.
How are you using the power of music and learning to play an instrument to get through this challenging time, where you're staying inside so much?
Yeah, no, I think it's because this is probably the time in my life where I spent the most time kind of inside by myself. And I think just having kind of not my guitar, my friend's guitar around and my friend's piano, now that I'm trying to get into some other instruments, it's been a great way to spend the time and just to kind of have a creative outlet, especially when other creative outlets such as, like seeing friends or doing other stuff isn't available.
That's awesome. What are you working on these days with your playing?
I guess recently, I've my main instrument's guitar, and I've done guitar lessons, never any other instruments. I'm recently been actually trying to learn piano, just because I think it's, even though I'm not a pianist by practice, I think it helps me hone in my music theory a lot better than playing guitar has. Just because you can see the layout just much easier, and I've learned a lot more about harmony and chord theory based off playing piano. I think that's actually really helped my guitar playing actually when I'm just kind of thinking about the chords and thinking about progressions on guitar. So piano's actually, it's been really fun to have that around for the past 2 months or so. I guess with guitar, I was always more of a lead. I always practiced more lead guitar than rhythm guitar, but since I'm just kind of by myself, I've actually been trying to practice more rhythm and stuff and get into more songs that aren't maybe super guitar focused, such as like classic rock stuff that's very guitar focused, but other songs maybe in terms of more contemporary stuff that has guitar more so in the background. I've been somewhat getting into that. And I guess when I was in Hong Kong, I'm in a band in Hong Kong, and I play lead guitar for them. So that's actually been fun to work with when I was there, to work with people who have pretty different musical tastes and stuff, and try to fit my guitar playing into their styles and songs they want to play.
What's been like? So it sounds like it's, playing an instrument has made it easier for you to form new relationships and friendships as you've traveled the globe here.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's been definitely a good opportunity to meet new people, and I guess when I was in Belgium, I kind of had a little band going, not super big. We'd play maybe gigs in our student dorm and stuff. In Hong Kong, I've been in a couple of bands, and we've played in bars and stuff. We've done kind of charity gigs, which has been awesome. And so that's, and also actually. In Hong Kong as well, I play guitar and bass guitar for my church, which is something different too. It's a very different style, so that's been fun too. So all those experiences have really allowed me to connect with people and to kind of just kind of place myself in the community, which I really enjoy.
Right, that's awesome. Take me back to the beginning. How old were you when you started playing the guitar, and kind of what was your goal at that point?
Well, I started playing guitar when I was 12. And so that was half a lifetime ago for me. And thinking back, I'm not sure what goals it had. But I guess I started listening to kind of classic rock when I was around 10-ish or so. And I really enjoyed it. And I remember before I started playing actual guitar, I played Guitar Hero on the PS2, which is I think a lot of kids actually back in the day got into guitar through Guitar Hero. I got into guitar.
Part of that era where we got a ton of business when Guitar Hero came out.
Yeah. So I think
guitar players.
Yeah. So I think I had Guitar Hero 1 and 2, and I was pretty good at it actually. I can play most of the songs in Guitar Hero pretty well. And I think after that I was like, I like these songs. It'd be cool to play them on actual guitar. So I think that was my goal, just to play rock songs. And I think in my first couple of years, the way I'd practiced mostly, besides the Hal Leonard books, was just to kind of get tablature and get chord sheets and kind of play popular songs that I enjoyed listening to.
Describe your process back then for learning a song, because your fingers would be flying across the fretboard, and a lot of students would look up to you and wonder, how does he do that? How would you take apart a song and learn it?
Yeah, so I guess in my first couple of years when I was starting out, I'm trying to think, Hal Leonard actually had when I was learning a lot of songs back in the day, a lot of rock songs. Hal Leonard had a cool series where they'd have those music books with kind of the music in the tabs, plus like a CD of the backing tracks of popular artists such as Led Zeppelin, or I think I had one of like just classic rock hits and stuff, and Van Halen. And those books were really helpful because they had the CDs where they played it, I think, at half speed, three-quarter speed, and full speed. And they also had all the tablature laid out. So if you really want to kind of nail a song that's quite harder, quite fast and technical, it was a really good way just to see it and slow it down a lot until I can play the proper speeds. That's one of the ways. I think I just used a lot of tab and just a lot of listening to music along with, because I think reading tab in music is very important, but it's sometimes just having tab as well as having the track along with it, just kind of sing the music and hearing it at the same time really helped me pick up how to play it.
That's fantastic. How long were you practicing back then?
It depends. I think when I was in school, not during summer, I'd probably practice for around probably the same 30 minutes to an hour a day, maybe more towards an hour a day. Then the summertime, a lot more, just because I remember, I think summer probably averaged between 1 and 3 hours a day just in my room practice. So just because.
Because a lot of people want to take the summer off and say, oh, we're going to go away we all need a vacation, but sometimes people put down their instruments too much during the summer when it's actually a time when you could pick it up and take it to the next level because you're not, you don't have as many things going on with school.
Definitely. I think most summers I took at least like a vacation for a week or two. But when I was home, I'd always play every day. I remember. I think it was the summer between 8th and 9th grade where I really kind of that's when my guitar really kind of jumped up a notch because I think for some reason or another I gave up video games that summer, and so I had a lot of free. I was just playing guitar probably for a couple hours a day, and that's when I really got good. And I can really see myself improving pretty much every day.
I think when guitar becomes your video game, it becomes a passion like a video game, and you start entering it almost like a game. Oh, how good can I get at this?
Yeah.
But really exciting because you're the main player in this game, and you're in the real world.
Yeah, no, it's definitely something I look back fondly on for those summers.
Tell me about a time at one of our shows where you felt like you were really in the zone performing at your peak.
Ooh, I think I've had quite a few performances. I think one of my favorite ones, which is not a typical performance that I usually do, is I played on acoustic guitar Rain Song by Led Zeppelin. I think it was like 7 minutes. It was alternate tuning, 7 minutes. Not the most technical piece in the world, but it was just something very different. And I was playing by myself too, which was actually really fun. I do remember playing that song and just feeling like I really nailed it, and just feeling kind of it's a really cool and just kind of peaceful melodic song. And that was one of my favorite performances just because it was something. It wasn't super loud, or it was just something very different than I usually do. I think one of my other favorite performances. I remember my first performance when I played Have You Ever Seen the Rain Just on Chords when I was just first starting guitar. And that was really cool just because that was the first time I ever played live. If I had to pick another performance, I really liked Sultans of Swing. I did that with I forgot his name, another student. And I love that song, and I just remember, even though there was some issues with the effects and stuff, so I didn't get the proper distortion for my solo, it still sounded awesome. It was one of those songs where it's just, I love Mark Knopfler's finger picking style, and it's very technical, but at the same time, it's not super shreddy, and you can really hear the different parts to it and the kind of just the musicality in it. So,
who are some of your main influences as a guitar player?
I think Led Zeppelin, definitely. I went through a big Led Zeppelin phase. Still love Led Zeppelin. I'm trying to think of stuff Jimi Hendrix definitely was a big influence. Worked through a lot of his songs on tab. Eric Clapton. I'm trying to think. I did like Van Halen. I'm not super into their music, but I love their guitar. I love Eddie Van Halen's guitar playing. So kind of just all those kind of classic rock icons probably had the biggest influence on me.
What aspects of your playing are you interested in developing in the future?
mostly aspects of live playing, just because I do feel like right now I can, if I really put in the time, I can learn mostly guitar parts and most songs fine on my own. But I think playing on my own is completely different than playing live. Playing live is 10 times harder just because you deal with other people. You deal with. I find also that when you're playing electric guitar live, it really makes a difference when your volume is cranked up and you have overdrive and just the smallest kind of movements or hit of the strings can sound absolutely terrible, if you do it wrong. So
everything's amplified, right?
Yeah, so it's definitely a different feel, and I think I've gotten decently okay at playing live, but there's still times where I was like, oh yeah, I can play this way better at home than live. So that's one of the things I'm really trying to improve right now, and also stage presence. Also, it's a big thing, and when you're playing at home, you just don't really develop that. So those are the things I guess I'm working on right now. It's a bit hard with this situation, but once the lockdown ends, I'll be back at it. So.
What did you enjoy the most about your time with Musicians Mobile?
I really enjoyed the live performances just because that was something to work forward to, just because I feel like when you're playing any guitar, any other instruments, you can just be playing at home. But if you're not working towards a goal or have a set project, it's kind of hard to advance sometimes. Mm-hmm. So I did look forward to kind of picking a song, really going through it a couple months, and then really mastering it, and looking forward to performing it live. That was a big thing. I guess my time at Musicians Mobile, it was long. It was like 6 years, I think. I loved all of my teachers were great.
What advice would you give new students who are considering picking up an instrument, but they're not so sure if they'll be good at it?
I guess a couple of things. I think first is that you have to put in the practice. I think everyone sounds terrible for the first 6 months or something or more. And it takes repetition too. I think the way to get good at guitar or any other skill or instrument is, I think for music in general, you really have to just do these boring, repetitive tasks over and over again until you really master it. I remember maybe I was kind of watching TV and passively trying to switch between chords like a G and a C, and just learn just doing that over and over again, kind of somewhat passively, just to learn how to switch between those chords quickly, and it takes hours and it's boring, but you have to do it. So I'd say another thing that really got me through practice, especially I can relate to this while learning piano right now because I'm not that great at piano. I can play some songs, but it takes me sometimes a while to get used to them. Is that I think it's important for students actually to, even early on, try to play songs that they do enjoy. So I think right now I'm trying to learn Benny and the Jets on piano. It's a bit above my piano playing level, and I have to just do much more basic than usual. But it gives me much more motivation than just saying I'm playing kind of a song that maybe a classical song that I'm not as interested in or don't really care for the music. So I think that's another important thing, is just to kind of play what you enjoy, and even if you have to simplify it a ton, you'll progress to the point eventually where you can fully play it. So.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Like when you can find a song, it's like not that just you enjoy, but one that really, really drives you. There's some different solos that I'm learning right now, and I have some choices. I'm going to go over the Back in Black solo again, and it's like, oh man, if I could play this, that's gonna just a song that gets me so motivated and hyped up. And when you find those kind of songs, the motivation comes a lot easier.
Yeah.
What's one thing you're fascinated with outside of music?
Have quite a few interests. I guess my doctorate in linguistics, I research kind of the psychology and neuroscience of language right now, which is interesting. I am signed up to do it for 4 more years, so it's kind of have to find it interesting. So I guess over the past 6 years, I've really enjoyed my academic work actually, and that's kind of led me to do my PhD right now. It's pretty boring for a lot of other people to hear about this, so that's one thing I like. But
interesting. Is there any parallels between what you're studying and music?
There's a few things. So right now in linguistics, there's actually more and more overlap from linguistics research to music research in terms of how the brain processes music. Just because they have some theories nowadays that musical processing might resemble some like language processing at some level in the brain, just because the language and music are both kind of complicated structures that are hierarchical in terms of they have like large structures of where, okay, we have a song and we have chorus first and they split off, and language is like that too. And so it's, I think, I don't directly do research in this, but I do try to read some papers now and then about it and kind of dwell on it a bit just because I find it fascinating. And maybe in the future I'll look into that stuff more.
Do you see yourself playing music for a lifetime, or are you going to quit next year?
Oh, definitely a lifetime. Yeah, I couldn't imagine not playing music. So definitely a lifetime.
Yeah, that's our vision, is to have music be a lifetime journey where you're constantly evolving and sharing it with others. And I knew you were continuing on with music and embodying that vision, and that's why I wanted to have you as a guest on the podcast. And I just want to say thanks for being a part of it, and wishing you the best, and stay safe out there in Belgium. Is there any links or things you'd like to share for the audience? No pressure if you don't have any, but if there's anything you want to promote, you can also.
I guess no, not that I can think of. I actually very recently I did. My friend had a birthday, and she kind of put together kind of a charity concert thing online. So I recently performed for that, which is really cool. That's done and over. So if I do any more of those online things, I'll let you know. But
yeah, just feel free to share them. Even later down the line, we could pop them up on our Facebook or Instagram. But thanks, Max. This has been awesome. Have a good time there in Belgium, and keep us up to date. If you have anything you want to share, any original songs down the line, Yeah,
no, definitely. I'll keep you guys up to date. It's been too long, so hopefully it's not like 6 years next time. So,
yeah. All right, Max. Talk to you later. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.